Tonight on News 5 Live, family of American man who was killed in Belize 8 years ago, awarded damages by U.S. court. New initiative wants to bring tourism to Garifuna communities. And find out what the new leader of the UDP says about his aunt's absence from the House of Representatives. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Welcome to HRCB. How can I help?
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, March 29th. I am Sabrina Daly. It took a long time coming, but on Friday, the family of an American man killed in Belize 8 years ago finally got some justice. A jury in Washington state found Tracy Nessel guilty for committing battery against her uncle, Timothy McNamara, who she was also in an incestuous relationship with. These actions of hers led to his death at his home in Boston Village on Christmas Day in 2014. Belizean authorities had wanted to prosecute her following the death, but were unable to get her extradited after she fled back to the U.S. 2 days after the incident. News 5's Paul Lopez has details of the killing that was originally believed to be a suicide. He also explores the efforts of law enforcement and scenes of crimes personnel in Belize, as well as the legal team in the United States, led by attorney Karen Kohler. They all worked tirelessly to dismantle Nessel's defense and convince the court to award over $3 million in damages for the victim's family.
Timothy Patrick McNamara died in Belize at the age of 66 years old. His cause of death was an alleged murder that occurred on Christmas Day 2014. It is alleged that he and his niece and lover, Tracy Nessel, got into an argument and that she followed him outside with a 9mm pistol and shot him to the back of the head. When police arrived at the scene some 2 hours later, Nessel claimed it was suicide. In a 2015 deposition, she told the interviewer that she came across McNamara's body.
All right, so you opened the door, and where was he?
He was on the deck.
Where was he facing?
I don't know which direction.
What were you looking at when you opened the door?
He was laying on his side.
Was he facing you?
No, I saw his back and his legs, and I thought he was joking.
And then what happened?
I went to him and I didn't see any blood. I didn't see anything on him.
While Belize authorities were investigating the case, Nessel reportedly fled to Washington state to live on McNamara's family farm. Belize's authorities subsequently discovered substantial evidence implicating Nessel in the murder. Orlando Vera, forensics analyst at the National Forensic Service, found that the absence of scratches and damage to both the front and rear sights of the weapon indicate that the gun did not fall from a height, but rather placed where it was found. Vera also found that blood splatter on the front, back and top of the right sleeve of the blouse Nessel was wearing indicated that blouse was in close proximity at the time McNamara was shot.
He didn't respond.
And then?
And then I started screaming for help for the neighbor.
And then what happened?
Nobody came, and I laid with him
How far away was the neighbor?
across the road.
How far is that?
I can't tell you the distance. I'm not good at that.
Can you see their house from your house?
Yes, ma'am.
Then what happened?
And I laid with him, and I continued to ask for help.
You laid with him how?
I spooned with him.
Pictures taken and analyzed by Robert Henry, scene of crime specialist on the night of McNamara's death, revealed that no blood splatter was seen on the hands of the victim, indicating that his hands were never holding the firearm. Blood seen on the back of his shirt and the gun indicated a blowback effect. Henry concluded that McNamara was not the one who fired the shot, that he was in standing position at the time of the shooting, and that the gun may have been placed in the area it was found at the time the scene was being processed.
How did you see the gun?
Because I walked out and I saw the gun on the rocks, and I could see it from when I laid with him.
So from the point of where you were lying with him, where was your head? If we look at page number 42, and you were lying with him, where was your face?
At the back of his head.
Did you, at any point while you were lying with him, notice that there was blood?
I didn't for a while. Until the forensics came.
My question was, did you notice any blood while you were lying there with
No,
him?
I did not.
John E. Rodun, forensic analyst attached to the firearm unit, documented a post-mortem examination on McNamara. He determined that the entry wound is from the left to the right, back to the front, and from down to the top of the head. Rodun concluded that the position of the entry wound is extremely uncomfortable for the victim to have fired the shot. Rodun further concluded that McNamara was not the one who fired the shot. On March 25, 2022, after hours of deliberation, the jury in Grand County, Washington, announced its verdict in favor of criminal murder. McNamara's family was awarded $3.3 million.
The whole time, Belize was talked about like it was a third world country, that, you know, your police weren't good, that they were corrupt, that we shouldn't trust them. The defense told the jury that Belize was dangerous. She never wanted to go back not because of the warmth, but because it was such a dangerous place. And we felt it was such a disservice to Belize, because all the people that testified for Mr. McNamara were so wise and strong and true. So in many ways, this verdict was for Belize also, because the jury that heard this were farmers in America, and they did not believe that Belize was a corrupt, dangerous, horrible place. They believed that this woman killed Mr. McNamara and then tried to blame everyone else for not doing a good job of figuring out what happened.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Karen Kohler, the lead attorney for Timothy McNamara's loved one, says in addition to the settlement, the family is now able to return to their farm in Washington state and place Timothy's ashes close to another family grave.
For 7 years, they've been waiting for the truth to be told. The story has been that he committed suicide, and they knew that was not true. And not just that he committed suicide, but he committed suicide after giving everything, everything that he owned to this woman. And so now we're going to get it back. So I tell you a story. Before he died, his sister, very close sister of his, passed away, and she was buried on the farm in Washington, a farm that he had in the family for over 40 years. It was a family farm, and he buried his sister on the farm. Well, his ashes have never been buried to this date, and the family was not allowed to go back to the farm. She had an order preventing the family from going to the farm. So now it looks like they are going to be able to bury Mr. McNamara on the farm next to his sister, and they will be able to visit everyone again. So it's very, very meaningful.
Coming up, one opposition member of the National Assembly has been noticeably absent from House meetings. What does the new leader of the UDP say about it? Find out when we return.
Hello, friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed to dress it and to keep it." It is amazing to me to realize that the first responsibility God ever gave man was to be a gardener and a steward of his beautiful and glorious creation. What an honor to realize that God has taken us as his partners and fellow laborers to help accomplish his divine work in the world that he has created. The Apostle Paul makes this so clear when he says, "For we are laborers together with God, ye are God's husbandry." Therefore, we are to use our gifts to make this world a better place for people to live in and help prepare them for a better world to come. I read the story of a retired man living in a city who got tired of seeing an ugly vacant lot that he passed on his daily walk. So he gained permission to plant a garden there. It took days to haul away the accumulated rubbish and to prepare the soil. But the man worked hard, and the next year the lot was aglow with life and beauty, and everyone took notice. One day a visitor admiring the flowers and landscaping said, "God has certainly given you a beautiful piece of property." The gardener replied, "Yes, he has, but you should have seen it when God had it all by himself." Our world will be a better place to live, and our church is more effective when we realize we are God's gardeners. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Who offers the best home internet experience? The truth is, Digi, of course. Diginet has the largest fiber network and the fastest speeds with the most reliable service. That's more learning, more earning, more gaming, more bonding, more sharing, getting more things done. And now, Diginet is even more affordable with the new entry plan, a 20 megabits per second fiber connection for just $49 monthly, and increased speeds in all plans. The truth is, only Digi has the ultimate home internet experience, with savings up to $270 when you bundle. Wireless and cable can't give you that. So what are you waiting for? Sign up or make the switch to DigiNet today to enjoy more speeds to get more done. Digi, or National Telecom.
Applying for a Social Security sickness benefit? Here's what you need to know. A complete claims package includes 1. Sickness claim form fully completed by the claimant and medical doctor. 2. Salaries record form completed by the employer or HR representative. 3. Proof of bank account such as bank book, online banking, or statement displaying your name and account number. To submit via email, you need to take a clear photo or scan of the documents and email to claims@socialsecurity.org.bz. Be sure to include your full name, social security number, and benefit type in the subject line of the email. Or you can drop off all completed forms into the Dropbox slot at the nearest branch office. Deadline to submit is 14 days from your first day of illness. All forms are available on the website at www.socialsecurity.org.bz. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Safety is at the core of everything we do at BEL. Our teams continuously participate in training to ensure they work safely and are aware of best practices both on and off the job. We remain committed to the safety and well-being of our employees and the communities we serve while delivering safe, reliable, and sustainable energy solutions.
Newly elected leader of the United Democratic Party, Moses Shine Barrow, made a guest appearance on Open Your Eyes morning show to talk about winning Sunday's UDP leadership convention. When asked why he believes he has been successful at becoming an elected member of the House of Representatives, the leader of the opposition and now the leader of the UDP, Barrow, had this to say.
When you look at life, you know, if Michael Jordan didn't hit the last shot versus the Utah Jazz, he wouldn't have won a championship. If, you know, if the Baymen, if the Flowers Bank crowd did not come down to Belize City and vote to stay rather than run away, would we have Belize? You know, so life is, it's a great lesson to learn that life is really about making the right choices at the right time, or you can miss life. So I'm present, and I believe this is a great lesson for young people, for all people, that every day is your day. Every moment is your moment. It's really up to you to define your life as it happens, but you have to be ready for it to happen. So I get up 5 o'clock every morning for the last 24 years. You know, I have a routine that I've been following for the last 24 years to prepare me for life as it happens. So there have been downs in my life, there have been disappointments and devastations, but I have zero regrets because I've always been present. It doesn't always go the way you want it to go, but for me, the reason that I have been able to have success is because I've been present. So I've always been able to give my all because life has never really caught me off guard.
When asked about the fate of those in the UDP who form the Caucus for Change, party leader Barrow says it is for the constituents to decide. Barrow says constituency conventions need to be held, and he intends to take a hands-off approach when UDP supporters are making their decisions.
What needs to happen is that we need to have constituency conventions, and the constituents need to determine who they want to change. That is not my decision to make. The people that are in the party were elected by their constituents, even though they did not win the general elections. They are still duly elected caretakers, and it would be offensive and disrespectful of the democratic process for me to say, oh, well, it is my opinion that you shouldn't be a part of the party because of X, Y, and Z. That is not for me to determine. That is for the people in the constituencies to determine. And once they do that, whether or not you're a part of Caucus for Change, you supported me or you didn't support me, I will work with you based on what the people in the constituencies say. And I've made that clear. I, as party leader, will not interfere in any convention for anyone. I will stay out of it, in front of the scenes and behind the scenes, because I want the popular candidate. I want the candidate that the people want. And what has happened over the last however many years is exactly what you said. Oh, well, change. So who determines change? The party leader determines change? No, this is not my party. This party belongs to the party faithful.
So what, if anything, will Shine Barrow do about his aunt's repeated absences from the House of Representatives now that he is the leader of the party? Denise Sister B. Barrow, the UDP area representative for Queen Square, has been noticeably missing from the House meetings. So will Shine be able to convince her to represent her constituency in the House?
I had this discussion yesterday. You know, forgive me if sometimes I feel that narratives that are put forth to me are biased and it is a People's United Party narrative. Forgive me. I do believe that that is a People's United Party narrative.
The narrative that a elected representative should show up for work.
I believe, again, if this is your opinion. This is your opinion?
That's a question.
I'm asking if it's your opinion.
That's a question I'm posing to you. Do you believe she should be present at House meetings?
My position is that I believe because the first question you asked me is, you know, what would I do about it?
No, what do you plan to do?
So that's two questions. So the member from Queen Square was elected by the people of Queen Square. And when the people of Queen Square come to me, or whatever means of communications they have to express any type of dissatisfaction with the fact that the member from Queen Square is not in the House as regularly as you or others may want her to be, then I will take immediate action to address that. But I have said before that everyone serves their constituency in different ways. And I am all about serving the constituency in the most effective way for that person. Now, until the rules change in the House, standing orders, and there is a mandatory requirement, the senior member from Queen Square, she's a senior member of the party, will have to deal with the matter. My intervention will come when the people that elected the member for Queen Square start to complain.
The National Women's Commission held a signing ceremony with private sector businesses who pledged their ongoing support to safe houses in Belize. The signing is in partnership with the Ministry of Human Development, Families and Indigenous Peoples Affairs and Spotlight Initiative. Safe houses provide an important service to victims and survivors of domestic violence, human trafficking, and other forms of gender-based violence. According to a release from the Commission, there is an urgent need for sustained upkeep, and safe houses aid survivors of gender-based violence when they are displaced and in need of a safe space for themselves and their children. Training of 3 safe house shelter staff and volunteers has been conducted to support the implementation. The Commission also thanks Belize Water Services Limited, F.T. Williams and Associate, Fast Construction, Honorable Oscar Mira, and Councillor Javier Castellanos, who have committed their support. After the break, a new system for monitoring fishing vessels in Belizean waters. Stay with us.
My name is Natalie, and I'm a working mom with 2 small children. Before I got pregnant, there were never any issues about my performance at work. However, when I did get pregnant, the way I was treated made me feel that I wasn't welcome anymore in the workplace. And so I decided to resign for my health and for the health of my baby. By the time my husband and I decided to have a second child, I was working at a company that had policies that accommodate women who are pregnant and nursing mothers. For example, we would get time off to nurse our children. I feel lucky to be working for a company that does not discriminate against pregnant women or nursing mothers. I believe that all women in Belize deserve that right. And at the end of the day, we're all Belizeans and we should all be treated with respect.
Hello, welcome to Samsung's awesome experience right here in Belize. Come check it out. Not sure which Samsung Galaxy A series is right for you? Touch, play, and learn about your device before you buy. Once you've purchased your device, you can now benefit from the full Samsung service experience. Your phone is covered by a 1-year local warranty. This includes manufacturer defects and software and hardware issues caused by the manufacturer. Enjoy your phone with peace of mind knowing that your Galaxy is protected. And when your warranty expires, you can still bring it to our certified Samsung Repair Center. Our technicians will diagnose and repair your device with Samsung original parts and machinery. Enjoy the Samsung experience when you shop at any of our authorized partners countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Odette's Home Center, Debari, Tropigas, and Quartz. Join the Samsung experience in Belize today.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Get your body sculpted with gym equipment and accessories from Benny's. Celebrating 75 years of quality and savings.
There is now a Blue Bonds unit in the Office of the Prime Minister, presided over by former Fisheries Administrator Beverly Wade. As director of the Blue Bonds and Project for Finance Permanence, that is, Wade told News 5 that Belize has 8 years to deliver in key areas.
A lot of the targets are really building on a lot of the things we've been doing in Belize already. So Belize had already made some commitments in terms of the expansion of our protected areas. And so what the Blue Bonds agreement is expected to do is to support that process. It's actually also looking at how do we improve the management of our mangroves in Belize, the creation of some mangrove reserves, and how do we bring effective management to these areas that are so important really to our tourism product and also to our productive sector, the fisheries sector, and quality of life in general, because these ecosystems play an important role in ensuring ocean's health and the health of our reefs. And it's also looking at one of the primary things is the development of a marine spatial plan for Belize. And the Marine Spatial Plan really builds on what we've been doing before at the Coastal Zone Management Authority with the Integrated Coastal Zone Management Plan. But it goes a little bit further than that. It's now going to be a plan which goes beyond our territorial seas. It goes into our EZ. And it's really meant to be a planning tool for us to now say, this is what we want to do in our blue space. This is how we want to approach development. This is how we want to approach conservation.
Before Wade was appointed head of the Blue Bonds unit, she worked as the planning and policy advisor in the Ministry of the Blue Economy. This followed years of experience at the Fisheries Department. Having worked closely with others in protected areas management and conservation, she says that the transition was seamless because the work she is doing now requires networking to enhance existing policies.
It's an excellent transition because for some time we have done a lot of work in Belize, putting in frameworks for management, putting in frameworks for conservation, working with the productive sector and working with marine protected areas. But what this unit is now looking at, besides the Blue Bond, it's also working with partners to create what we refer to as finance permanence. And what that is for us to now work with organizations like TASA that we're celebrating today, actually a business model that they're putting in place, which hopefully will bring them some finance permanence for the management of the Turnef Atoll Marine Reserve. To maintain and to adequately manage these areas needs tremendous resources. And the traditional approach of just grant funding is not sustainable. And what COVID also showed us is that we have to start to become innovative and we need to have more established mechanisms in place. So the Blue Bond, a part of the Blue Bond negotiation was to create a conservation trust fund that would finance marine conservation. Now we're working along with WWF and the Nature Conservancy to now design a finance permanence project for Belize that even goes beyond the Blue Bond to complement the Blue Bond so that we can build on what TASA is doing here, support what TASA is doing here, and at the end of the day, ensure that these areas and the systems that we have in Belize are adequately managed, they're functioning the way they're supposed to function in terms of providing the ecosystem services for our productive sector and for important economic sectors like tourism, fisheries, but at the same time maintaining the functional integrity of the ecosystems.
Belize has joined several Central and South American countries in being able to monitor its fishing vessels live via Global Fishing Watch. It follows a partnership that began in 2021 among the Belize High Seas Fishing Unit, Global Fishing Watch, and Oceana Belize. They decided to work together to monitor Belizean fishing vessels, or those flagged to Belize, through a live map. This enables the Belize High Seas Fisheries Unit to see what activities Belize's fishing vessels are engaged in, who they interact with, and take action when needed.
Because of the vast expanse of the oceans, it is almost impossible for any country around the world to have patrol vessels policing its flagged vessels on the high seas. So we rely primarily on those remote features, the the satellite-based communication equipment, the catch reporting, the observer coverage, and of course we substantiate and verify all this data with discharge inspections when the vessels come into port. We can now see the vessels of all other countries around the world and tell what those vessels are doing in relation to our vessels. So it really allows us to bridge that gap and keep a closer eye of the activities of our vessels in relation to those vessels. And that's a very important step for us to combat any type of illegal activity that might be occurring on the high seas.
If you're monitoring from land, what kind of interventions can you make when you see illegal activities happening on the high seas?
We're in direct communication with the masters and the agents, the operators of these vessels. And when a vessel is designated as an IUU vessel, it is a very dangerous thing for the activities of that vessel. It effectively puts all their business to rest. They're unable to trade, they're unable to operate, they're unable to do anything. So it is in the best interest of owners and operators to comply with any requirements that are set forth by a flag state administration. And being in close communication with the masters of these vessels, we're able to question their activities when it is that we do not understand what they're doing. We're able to require a vessel to return to port. We're able to exercise several controls over those vessels that are outlined in our legislation. And whenever you have a vessel that is not compliant with any of our requests or any of our requirements, then there is always that final step to designate a vessel as an IUU vessel.
As Alyssa Noble, the communications director for Oceania Belize, explained to News 5, the platform tracks the movement of fishing vessels in real time, enabling Belize's fishing authorities to study trends and to have a comprehensive view of the fishing fleet. This, she said, is a demonstration of Belize's leadership and commitment to transparency and good governance of high seas fisheries.
Belize's 2012-2013, I think, was given a card from the EU, which resulted in a ban on exports to the EU. The High Seas Fisheries Unit has since, introduced a revised Fisheries Act and has taken significant steps to ensure Belize's leadership on the issue. We had announced it. We have been working in the back end to transfer data, make sure it's uploaded, and to make sure that that data is now live and visible on the Global Fishing Watch map, which it now is. So anyone who's interested in seeing the information can go on to the Global Fishing Watch site and be able to see, the commercially flagged fishing vessels or the commercial fishing vessels flagged to Belize, as well as for any of other countries who are using the platform.
Just ahead, a new cultural tourism initiative hopes to bring visitors into Garifuna communities. But first, here is a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Jackie, let's go for ice cream. And remember, if your mom hears about this, Amy will get her share too. Hey, Jack. How about you and Uncle J pair a little game?
No, Uncle, I don't like your games.
Well, that means I'll have to start playing with little Amy then.
No, not Amy. I'll play with you.
That's my baby girl.
Sexual violence against children can cause lifelong harm and suffering, which may often be hidden. Too many survivors of sexual violence are re-victimized, even by the very people who are supposed to love and protect them. The restrictions put into effect during the COVID-19 pandemic made it even more challenging for people to report acts of sexual violence. It is never too late to speak up and to seek help you or a loved one may need. Sexual violence may breed a vicious cycle of domestic violence, and its effects can span generations. Girls who experience sexual violence as children are also at higher risk of staying in situations of domestic violence. Belize will not be safe until its women are safe. Secure Belize.
The contamination of water we all depend on is a very urgent issue. As Belize's popularity and industries grow, challenges increase. In this episode, we will examine the issue of water pollution in Belize. Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies, usually because of human activities. Water bodies include lagoons, rivers, aquifers, and oceans. On the marine side, the discharge of sewage and bilge water from cruise ships and other live-aboard vessels, in combination with unregulated development of coastal areas, has led to the degradation of marine ecosystems such as mangroves and coral reefs. Our inland waters are facing their own challenges. As agricultural development increases, pesticides, fertilizers, and waste products are running off into rivers. Increased river traffic from boat tours and sugar barges adds to the already stressful conditions of the freshwater ecosystems. In addition, companies that collect sewage sometimes dump the waste right into the waterways. Additionally, in densely populated areas like Belize City and Orange Walk, poor sewage designs result in the contamination of groundwater and of water bodies by both sewage and wash water. In many cases, homes and businesses dump their wastewater directly into drains, which leads to rivers and the sea. Wastewater, detergents, and petroleum collect in drains that empty into waterways, such as the New River and the Belize River. This, along with the runoff and discharges from the agricultural and industrial businesses, have been inadequately monitored and enforced. The answers to overcoming water pollution issues are fourfold: improved infrastructure, adequate treatment, increased legislation and monitoring, and of course, changing our habits for the better. While it is urgent that better management on a policy level is needed, there are a few things we can do at home to help. Ensure proper treatment systems are installed for all wastewater at your home and business. Don't dispose of oil from your automobiles or cooking and household detergents down the drain. And lastly, minimize the usage of chemicals and fertilizers and report any dumping into waterways to the Department of the Environment. The government has recognized the threat of inadequate liquid waste management and is working toward goals of reducing and reversing its effects. For more information on what's being done about water pollution and ways you can help, visit our website at doe.gov.bz. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
Members of the Belize Tourism Board, in partnership with the Caribbean Tourism Organization, traveled south to Dangriga this morning, where they formally launched the Garifuna Trail, a community-based tourism initiative to promote economic growth. The project will focus on bringing together all the elements of the Garifuna culture to be marketed as one unique Belizean experience. The official ceremony was held at the Pen Cayetano Art Gallery and Studio. News 5's Isani Cayetano reports.
Garifuna music, dance, language and food are among Belize's most important cultural exports. Collectively, these elements help to define who we are as an ethnically diverse people. Even with a shared existence, there has been no effort to market these features as a single tourism product. Not until now, with the introduction of the Garifuna Trail.
As you may know, many instances you'll just see dancers going to resorts instead of guests coming to us. So we want to change that dynamics, whereby we can leverage much of the marketing tools in order to be able to leverage the economic power that comes with tourism for our people.
As a community-based tourism project, Garifuna Trail aims to provide a unique and genuine cultural experience for visitors across various Garifuna communities.
People are traveling today to try and gain that experience, to connect, to make connections, human connections. That's what people are looking for today. So it's more than just come and observe and look at entertainment. That's not what they're looking for. People want authentic connections, and that is what we are trying to develop and promote into a tourism product. Belize is all about authenticity, and our cultures, when people come here, they feel a sense of connection that they feel nowhere else in the world. So that is really what this is all about.
Much like Dangriga, the culture capital, Hopkins Village is prominently featured along the Garifuna Trail. Over the years, this southern community has blossomed into a major tourist destination where Garifuna Duo often takes center stage.
For those in Hopkins, all the locally owned businesses, I must say thank you. But in the same light, I encourage others. The ones in Dangriga are also permanently featured. Remember, these are all unsung heroes, people who have been taking on cultural preservation in their own light, in their own efforts, with their own money.
This initiative, nonetheless, is part of a regional effort to highlight authentic experiences across the Caribbean. For the Garifuna Trail to materialize, Belize had to submit a winning proposal to Compete Caribbean Partnership Facility, a private sector development program delivering innovative and practical solutions to stimulate economic growth.
Compete Caribbean chose a very unique opportunity this time to have CTO execute the project on its behalf by implementing in 3 countries, one of which is Belize, but also in Bahamas as well as Dominica, 3 pilot CBT projects, community-based tourism projects, with the thinking that the learnings from these experiences could be shared to really expand the model within the Caribbean. And it's really gratifying that the projects focused on indigenous persons in the first instance. Oftentimes that's a neglected or maybe even ignored community. In many of the ways that tourism has evolved, it becomes very mainstream.
Chief Executive Officer in the Ministry of Tourism, Nicole Solano, says that the project is being funded to the tune of $375,000 US.
The project won among several other projects that were proposed within the region. So it is being funded by Compete Caribbean, a project that was done through the Caribbean Tourism Organization, and the Belize Tourism Board as well is putting some funding toward it, and then in-kind contributions from the cluster businesses themselves.
We're looking at training in entrepreneurial endeavors, we're looking at tour guide training, we're looking at holistic training where self-empowerment is concerned. So it's a holistic approach to cultural tourism where we first develop self.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.
Over the weekend, residents from the southern communities of Sundaywood and Conejo Creek met to sign a boundary agreement following the completion of a GPS mapping exercise to delineate their respective territories. It's part of an ongoing activity that is taking place among certain indigenous communities within the Toledo district. Here's a brief clip provided to us by the Sarstoon Antimash Institute for Indigenous Management.
Today was a historic day as the boundary signing agreement was made. I believe that's the first step to move forward for our community.
My name is Pablo Octe. I live in Sunnywood. The reason what I talking about with the boundary in Conejo and between Sunnywood, I like to see what Conejo is doing. They invite the chairman and the ladies to go and do the boundary mapping or GPS mapping in the area where between and Sunnywood. That is where I like it. That is where how we come together and to do our boundary line between all around the villages of Conejo, Picosarco, Corazon, San Lucas, and Santa Teresa.
My name is Enrique Makin. I'm the first alcalde of Conejo Creek. The purpose of our meeting or our visit here in Sandwood is to do the signing agreement with them in terms of the verification of our boundary line. It's not my own present here today. It's along with my second alcalde, the village chairman, along with the village council, and as well as the elders within our village that come here and so also with the youths. Hence, because the importance is that the youth need to understand and be aware and to observe what's happening, what's occurring, and the work that we are doing in terms of our boundary line.
Grow your business from the Caribbean. It's an initiative from two women based in Trinidad. They say they want to help entrepreneurs, managers, and companies to learn the tools and techniques needed to grow their businesses and online reputations for long-term success. It may sound like a mouthful, but marketing strategist Debbie Jolie and communication specialist Tessa Drayton plan to break it down during a workshop that is being held virtually on April 9th. It doesn't matter which country you're from or the development stage of your business. They say the tools will provide the ultimate growth strategy for your company.
It is geared towards Caribbean businesses, Caribbean entrepreneurs, small, medium, and large firms, really. And it is meant to give C-suite executives as well as entrepreneurs and small and medium-sized firms an idea and an understanding of the role of reputation marketing in their business and how this philosophy and this strategy is supposed to help them grow their business, build their brand, and help them to have a much more sustainable and long-term business.
We emphasizing a lot how important your brand is, not just for you, but also for the persons that work with you, also for your stakeholders, your investors. And it's really, really important to learn the different facets, the different tools needed to maintain your reputation, maintain your company's brand. It's long term.
The Caribbean Business Workshop also looks at new strategies as business owners work to stay relevant in a changing economic environment. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced many companies to realize the importance of going digital and having a strategy for reputation marketing online.
Crisis management plan, a crisis response plan to mitigate, as part of your business model, of course, to mitigate any threats that can occur to your business or to you as an individual. And not just leave the plan. It has to be strong. It has to be comprehensive. It has to involve all persons on your team. So you create a team to manage your communication aspect in the event of a crisis. And I've seen the onset of COVID And during the pandemic, that is how much companies did not have a communication plan in place. So something happens and we just react emotionally. And those who did have a plan, it's not revised. So we just leave it on the shelf collecting dust, and that's it. But what I encourage persons to do, we discussed this last night at the live reputation crisis management live, is to create a culture that is crisis ready. So that means you involve all persons, your staff, from the leader go down to the lowest person in your organization. Everybody has the same mindset, the same thinking. We're all on the same page.
The workshop is online on April 9th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Trinidad time. You can register online at www.debbiejolie.com. Up next, the bliss comes alive again with post-pandemic dancing. Find out more after the break.
Do people actually hear from God? Are there really angels and demons? Okay, now that's just unbelievable. In our next series, we're going beyond the Google search and facing the tough questions. It's time to take on the skeptic and eliminate the doubt. From inconceivable to unimaginable, we're talking about the Bible's most unbelievable truths. Every second of this series will be worth your while. Believe it or not.
Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo
Great entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
What is the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine? The Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is an RNA vaccine that triggers our immune system to develop antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19. It helps to reduce hospitalization, severity of the disease, and death. What is the Pfizer vaccine made of, and is it safe? The Pfizer vaccine is made up of mRNA messenger ribonucleic acid, which are molecules that carry the genetic information needed to make proteins, lipid, salts, and sugar. It is safe for persons 12 years and older and does not contain the COVID-19 virus, hence cannot cause infection. Tests have shown that the vaccine is effective against current virus variants. Who should take the Pfizer vaccine? The Pfizer vaccine should be taken by persons 12 years of age and older who do not have severe allergic reaction after a previous dose of vaccine or have not had severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of this vaccine. 2 doses of the vaccine are required 3 weeks apart. If you are between the ages of 12 and 17 years, you are required to present a signed consent form before you are vaccinated. What are the side effects of the Pfizer vaccine? Some common side effects of the Pfizer vaccine are headache, fatigue, muscle pain, fever, chills, and swelling at the injection site. If side effects persist, contact your doctor as soon as possible. Does the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine prevent infection and transmission? No, vaccination alone does not prevent infection and transmission. We are still required to continue to wear masks properly, physically distance, wash and sanitize hands often, practice proper coughing and sneezing hygiene, and avoid crowds.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special Smart Stream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with Smart Stream.
Dance shows are returning to the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. This Friday and Saturday, 4 resident dance companies will be creating an explosion of dance styles: cultural, folkloric, modern, and classic, all in one. News 5's Dwayne Moody found out today what audience members can expect.
The newly retrofitted dance studio at the Bliss was the venue for a briefing to announce Resilient Dance, a project to revitalize dancing following a 2-year break from in-person sessions due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Excited about this move is Senior Program Officer Kim Vasquez, as it falls in line with the rebirth of the Bliss.
We started to discuss having a collective dance show. For them, they see it as a way of giving back, of supporting their home here at the Bliss. And so we bounced around different ideas. And from the beginning, I think we felt that this theme of resilience was the theme that we wanted to go with. And so that's where the title Resilient Dance came from. We know that the creative arts, we've said before, have been severely impacted by COVID-19. Creatives lost the opportunity to perform. And so we're really excited to be at a point where we can get back an audience and have a live show here at the Bliss.
It's the same show both nights, starting at 7:30 p.m. It will feature performances from the Belize National Dance Company, Modern Dance Movement, Belize Afro Dance Formation, and the Ugundani Garifuna Dance Group, and some other guest performance. So what can you expect with these dance companies returning to the stage?
BNDC will be turning as a new BNDC. We have new members, so fresh after 32 years. We are with fresh members, and I'm sure you all will enjoy them as much as how you enjoyed the dancers of the past, because they have that same sort of training and everything that the professor had shared with us, we pass it on.
There were some unique pieces, or there are some unique pieces that BNDC is known for. Will we see any of those?
We have something old and something new. We have 3 pieces that we're going to do. 2 of them are new, the modern and the sort of jazzy type, and a folk. As usual, you know that the folk will be obvious. You say, oh, I saw that already. But still, we know that we can't get rid of it.
With my dance group, we offer almost every single style of dance that we are offering in Belize. So we have modern, contemporary, classical, cultural, definitely. But on stage for this night, you are going to be seeing modern, contemporary, and a bit of acro dance, because acrobatic dance is a new genre that we've added to our curriculum since last year, and our students have been learning to bend themselves into different contortions through proper training. So they're going to be exhibiting just a little snippet of that.
We've been actually on the dance floor virtually. Modern Dance Movement was founded in 2019, just before the pandemic hit. So all of our shows have been virtual, pre-recorded, but as the other directors have mentioned, now that we are able to host live performances, it is a completely different experience. Because the show is Resilient Dance, resilience is a very general term of strength and power and just moving forward. Modern Dance Movement will be offering a ballet piece and a modern piece.
We'll be having very exciting traditional Garifuna dances, and we'll be doing various genres, paranda, huguk, as well as the wanaragua. And for everyone to know that the Ugundane Dance Group will close the show for 2 nights. So then it will be an exciting culmination of the show. So please, we encourage every single body to come and enjoy the show. All right. It will be an exciting show, and the young people who are participating, the dancers, the singers, everybody is excited.
The proceeds from the event will go into other repair works at the Bliss.
The dance companies are not keeping anything for themselves. They are giving it to the Bliss Center for the continued upgrades. We have a lot of upgrades needed in the technical department, for example, and they want to contribute and give back. And we do hope to eventually release some digital copies for sale as well of the show.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
On both nights, the show begins at 7:30 p.m. and will be hosted by News 5's very own Dwayne Moody. Tickets are available at $20 for adults and $10 for children. These tickets can be purchased at the Bliss box office. 15 members of the National Ballet of Haiti, under the direction of Yves Pennell, will give a free performance in Belize on Thursday. The group from the Haitian capital, Port-au-Prince, is part of the Haitian National Theatre. According to a release from the Mexican Embassy, which is hosting the group, the dancers, percussionists, and singers will share with Belizeans the magic, dance, and music of their country, inspired by its deep African roots. The show will be at the Mexican Cultural Center at the corner of Wilson Street and Barak Road in Belize City, starting at 4 p.m. on Thursday. The program started back in 2019 and is now returning in 2022. The Belize City Council, during Women's Month, is honoring some 11 inspiring women who have been making waves in their respective communities across the city. Today, a Sheroes Award ceremony was held at the Radisson, where the work of these women were celebrated, and a $250 contribution made to a charitable organization of their choice. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
As Women's Month winds down, the Belize City Council today honored a few good women across the city who have been working with or for the people. These Sheroes, as they are being dubbed, have been on the ground for decades, some without recognition for their hard work. Among the recipients is Grace Flowers, who works with at-risk youth and gang members in the Rocky Road community.
Well, I deal with the gang members them a lot, and the youths. We have our own little cadet, which we have the practice every Thursday. In my area, the Rocky Road was really bad. Right now it calm right down. Thanks to the police department who put a booth in my area. And the guys, when they have problem, they come to me and I help them solve their problem. They look up to me as a mother figure for them. They give me enough respect in my community.
Like Flowers, Nilsa Acosta is also a well-respected individual, but in the Queen Square division of the city. She speaks of having had to work from a young age and for the past 40 years trying to support not only her children, but members of the community with getting assistance where she couldn't.
I'm just an ordinary domestic worker. You know, I don't, because like I didn't, as you know from my bio, I didn't went to a high school. At the age of 13, I started to work, right? But that inspired me that what I didn't get, for others to get. I try with my kids. I have 6 kids. You know, I try with them to be today inspired and motivate them to be better in the community and to help others, you know.
The 10 councillors and the mayor were each responsible to recommend an individual for the award. Councillor with responsibility for women and children, Natasha Pipersberg, says that the program started back in 2019, but was interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic.
We were tasked with selecting one individual from within the community that we believe has contributed in regards to women and children. And we basically looked within our community and trying not to select individuals that were selected back in 2019. So, I'm sorry, 2019. So we were basically tasked with really looking a little bit further and getting to know these individuals on a personal level as well. So many of these individuals who were selected today were individuals who in some way or form has contributed to some genre in regards to dealing with women and helping them to be more established and basically molding them to be someone of society. So these women have contributed, whether it's feeding the homeless, whether it's teaching women a particular trade. These are the women who were selected today.
Also awarded today were Julian Young Mortis, Lula Bennett, Lorraine Henry, Cherie Renaud, Pastor Ruth Pipersberg, Marlene Garvin, Carolyn Trench Sandiford, Erica Michelle Howard, and Brenda Lee Enriquez. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at facebook.com/News5Live. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.